And Michael Steele, Republicans and business leaders of both political parties have been citing these concerns about the economy and also, of course, about the political impact of the president's misinformation, which reached the dangerous point last week at these daily briefings.
Yeah, and that's actually two separate issues, Andrea. So you have the misinformation around medical information and advice, particularly with respect to disinfectants, which was a real problem and sent alarm bells that reached the White House in such a way and magnitude that to Kristen's reporting, the president decided, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. Then the second piece is the economic piece, which is profoundly problematic because that's what they were going to run on. That's what Republicans in the White House were going to run on in November. And so now, given the coronavirus economy that's been created from Wall Street to Main Street, there's a new reality that's setting in. And so this idea that you're just going to jumpstart the economy again is a real problem, and which is why you're hearing McConnell and others now express what some of us kind of sort of cross our eyes a little bit at this idea. Oh, now we're concerned about debts and deficits, because the reality is all of the stuff that was done from the original tax bill to the present spent up, and now that's coming home. And so you have the downward pressure from what some are calling a coronavirus recession, in addition to the economic impact that was already in play from earlier policy decisions by the administration and Republicans. And so now everyone's going to say, we need to cool the jets, no more spending, which is why McConnell is really cool on a stimulus 4 package at this point.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.